Have you ever noticed how when you're bursting with energy, the person closest to you is often feeling drained? When the other person is in a good mood, you're the one who's irritable. And when you're thinking clearly, the other person seems confused. As if these phases of misalignment were being sustained by recurring energy patterns. This is where the study of biological clocks or biorhythms comes in. These are a set of 3 regular cycles calculated from our date of birth. The first, lasting 23 days, is said to affect our physical vitality. The second, lasting 28 days, our moods and emotions. And finally, the third, lasting 33 days, our mental state and communication. These cycles are reminiscent of those of the Sun, Moon, and Mercury, respectively, which are thought to have a similar influence in astrology. Biorhythms are represented as sinusoidal waves, with optimal phases, peaks, depressive phases, trough, or critical phases when a curve reaches the baseline or 0 point. The point here is not to debate the scientific reality of these cycles or their validity, since anyone can observe them and judge for themselves. The real question would be, if these cycles are natural, what purpose do these intermittent shifts serve, both individually and collectively? And what if, like astrological birth charts, these biological rhythms were in fact determined by matrix programming? A way of keeping us within predictable fluctuations, limiting our peaks and above all, preventing us from being too often in sync with others. Picture a sound wave. Sound engineers often use a peak limiting system called a limiter to keep the volume within a control range. What if biorhythms played exactly that role for us? Invisible limiters that prevent our peaks of energy, emotions, and intellectual clarity from lasting too long. Even more subtly, when 2 or more sun waves meet, if they are in phase, they combine, amplifying the volume and the power. But if they are out of phase, they partially cancel each other out, reducing the momentum. What if the matrix were constantly engineering this misalignment? When you're high, the other person is low. When the other person is clear, you're the one who's confused. When you want to move, the other person has no energy. As a result, you're never really in sync. There's always a bit of friction. And what does this friction produce? The infamous sloosh, the emotional energy that feeds the system. In this sense, biorhythm would not only be individual curves, they would also serve to shape our relationships, encounters, and conflicts. 2 people who are rarely in sync generate far more tension and therefore much more energy that can be harvested by the matrix. As if they were all connected to an invisible core, ensuring that harmony remains rare and dissonance is the rule. So the next time you feel this disconnection with someone close to you, instead of accepting it as an inevitable pseudo-natural phenomenon against which you are powerless, ask yourself what would happen if you refused to play along and reclaim your own frequency. Because even if these cycles do exist, the greatest power still lies with you. The power to choose not to believe in them and to consciously realign yourself with your axis.